Welcome back, everybody. If you are new here, hi, my name is Nikki. It's so nice to meet you. And today we have another edit with me. So we are going to be focusing on Panther Falls, which I have actually shot this waterfall before, but I went again with a friend of mine who's also a photographer, and this is one of our favorite falls. It's very unique. There's so many different angles you can get from it, and it just looks stunning every time. And so that is what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be figuring out which angles I want to use. It looks like I took 2 or 3 different ones from this specific composition, and we're also going to find what focal lengths I want to use, what target, like focal lengths in the sense of what I was targeting. And then we're going to throw it into Photoshop, align them, manually blend them, probably throw it into Luminar because I've been really loving using Luminar, and then finish it out from there. So if you haven't subscribed already, you should go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your post notifications because I do post videos every single week. And these edit with me's are probably one of my favorites to edit, honestly, or produce. I just think it's a lot of fun because there's so many different ways to work with a photo. It's just a time to be creative, and that's what I love. That's what I love about this the most. So let's get to it. So I was looking at these before, and it looks like I have different like, see here, from here to here I zoom in. I don't know why I zoomed in, but that's what I did. So I had to decide if I want the more zoomed in. I have this one too, but I'm not going to work on this one. I want one that has I keep pointing, that has like these like little tiny falls from it. I do kind of like this more close up view, I think, but also we're going to be cropping it in once we align it, and so we're going to be losing even more. So I'm not really sure yet what I want to go with. See, this is really pretty. Where was I focused on here? So to find where you are focused, you have to be in library, and it's an add-on that you can get through Adobe. And then you just go to library, plug in extras, and then show focus points. And it'll show you where it's focused. So it's focused right here, which is why this log is so clear. Now it's a little weird right here. You can tell right here that it's misty, and it looks like a little bit of a water spot on my lens too is right here. Can't use that. And then as you can tell from just like looking right here, even though it's blurry, when I go one over, it's zoomed in. So I can't really use this view because this one is the only viable photo that I can really use out of the 4. And so we'll see if I can get anything out of these next ones, because I know I zoom in again at some point. See, that looks really good. Okay, well, clearly I only took pictures of the center. So, okay, so we're not going to be layering this, because I'm silly. It's just very hazy over here, which, I mean, I can get rid of with dehaze. Let's see what that would look like. I'm not gonna keep it right away. What would that look like? Okay, I don't hate it, but I'm not liking this. There's a water spot right here, and it's just like very weird right there. So let's look at this one. And it kind of sucks I only have like one focal length to work with, because I don't know what I was thinking, honestly, but that's okay. Again, watermark right there. Do all of them have a watermark right there? That one's really bad. So this one doesn't have a watermark at all. So we're going to up the shadows and get rid of some of the dark, just a smidge, like 25. And then because we're gonna dehaze it by like 25 there. And then lower the whites. Up the contrast. By like 5. I can do that in Luminar actually. Right now we're just controlling the light. So this is looking a lot better. There's not so much water in this spot. Overall, you can tell like the edges are very crisp. The water looks really good. So I think we're gonna just work with this one. There's still a little bit of a water spot right there, but that's okay. I'm actually going to undehaze because I'll do that in Luminar. I will go ahead and get rid of some of these. Actually, let's look at doing it. I don't use this too often. I should. So we don't want to do it that way. Yeah, no, that's all accent, which we don't really want to mess with that. So yeah, we'll just do like 15 and 15. I think that's okay for right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to export this now, and then since this is the one we're working with, we're going to export it and then plop it into Luminar. So let's see, a specific folder. We want to go to my terabyte. Instagram is fine. Custom name Panther Falls 2. We'll just do Panther Falls 3. And then export. Because like I said, I have multiple Panther Falls. So okay, so just generally looking at this, we kind of just need to make it, there's not much I really need to do with it, honestly. It kind of speaks for itself. I want the, just looking at it, I want the, I want the lights to dim down a little bit, because when I do a vignette, I'm going to be illuminating the middle part, so that way it really draws the eye in. And so when I do that, it's going to up the brightness, and then it's going to make these whites too much. So that's a highlight thing. I need to dehaze this, do a smart contrast, and then I'm also going to do up the saturation of the foliage. That's going to be all of this. And then I think I might add some mood to it, might add some fog, might make it more misty since it's kind of a rainy, misty day, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up coming up with. So for right now, we want to control the whites. And so there's a couple ways we can do that. We can either do it by highlights or with whites. So highlights will just affect the water and the overly highlighted areas, whereas whites will affect the entire image. So even like the foliage and stuff that's already pretty on the darker side. So I'm going to start with highlights first. I'm going to lower the highlights. You don't want to lower it too much, because then it just makes the water look really kind of not super exciting, honestly. I mean, it doesn't look bad. And then also when you dim the highlights all the way, it gets rid of this kind of little hazy spot. And I might put some light rays in there, because that's where the light source is coming from anyways. And so if I put a light source, like some sun rays or something, then it'll look like that haziness is just from the sun and not from mist. So that's another thing I can do. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go 50, and then I might play with the whites here. Do like maybe 50. And then smart contrast. You see that? If I do it all the way up, you'll be able to see the smart contrast. But we're gonna do like 25, see what that looks like. I don't want it too much, just a little bit, but I do like it to have some kind of like oomph to it. If that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so that AI enhance. The accent always makes it brighter, so I'm going to deal with that later. I want to make sure, I want to do the vignette and everything first just to see what it's looking like and how bright it is. We can give it some more structures. We can do like 10 with a 5 boost is typically what I end up doing. And then we can like turn it on and off just to see what it's looking like. And that, I feel like that is even like too much, so let's do like 5 and 5. And then I can turn it on and off, and it kind of just gives it some like oomph to it, honestly. Kind of just makes it bolder, and we haven't even played with the colors yet, so we'll do that. For the color, I'm going to mess with the landscape enhancer first. And so this is where we have our foliage enhancer, golden hour, dehaze, which is why I didn't want to work on the dehaze too much in Lightroom, because I knew I was going to be doing it here too. So if we go all the way up, that is what it's looking like, which actually looks really nice. Do it before and after. I feel like in Luminar the dehaze is not as intense, because like if we were to do 100% dehaze in Lightroom, it would be so dark and way too overly saturated, whereas with Luminar it's a lot more subtle, which I really appreciate. So let's do like 75, see what that's looking like. I actually really like that. It also makes the log here a bit browner, whereas before, like, I don't know, it looked more yellow, I guess. I don't know. That could just be me. So we're going to stick to that, and then we're going to do 15 or 25. 25 is a little much. So I like 15, and it's a little too green. So if we do this, then obviously there's more yellows, but I do want there to be some yellow. So let's go to 50 and see what that's looking like. Already that just looks beautiful. I love that. I love this waterfall so much. It's so stunning. For color, like I said, we have that chromatic aberration, which is greens and purples. And so so this log here is going to be composed of reds, oranges, and yellows. And so right now, to me, this log is more on the kind of yellowy side. And I want it to be more brown. So if we up the saturation here, you can tell that the saturation of the log goes up with everything else. So we're going to do 25 on that. We're going to up its luminance because I kind of want it to pop a little bit, make it look like the sun is hitting it on the top here. So we're going to up its luminance by like 20, and then we can change its hue, and we definitely want it to be more on the orangey side but have some red tints. So I'm kind of liking that, and then we'll go to oranges. As you see, the log changes as well, so does these areas, and pretty much just all over, because we're still in winter when this was taken. So a lot of those yellows, reds, and oranges are going to pop more. So we're going to do 20. We're going to up its luminance by like 25. And then we do want it to be a little bit, we don't want it to be green. We want it to be more on the ready side, red side. So we'll say like 15, I feel like is good. And then yellow, we're gonna up the yellows, kind of play with those. We'll up the yellows by like 10. They're pretty bright already, so I kind of want to just dim them down a little bit, actually, like that, and then make them a little bit more orangey, like that. That looks really good. I really like that. And then greens, I want the greens to really pop. So we're gonna be 25. I try not to go past 25. We'll up their luminance a little bit by like 15. And then we kind of change their hue to be green, but also like kind of, I want it to look like we're still in winter, you know? I want it to be an accurate depiction of what season we're in. And then if I go landscape enhancer, foliage enhancer, we can like drop it down to 10 because I think it's like just a little too much. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, and color. It's before and after. I think that just looks so much better. Okay, AI enhance. Let's see what that does. All right. Okay, I didn't want to do that yet. We're gonna do the vignette. Advanced settings. Okay, so I like to be, I usually hit it around 55. You can see that it kind of narrows in and out with depending on the size. I like mine to be pretty feathered in, but not too feathered in. In Lightroom, this would be your midpoint. Here they call it size. Same thing though, honestly. So let's do it like feathered. So we'll do it like 50 for the feathering. And then here we can mess with the roundness. Now it's more of an oval photo, so I kind of wanted to be more of an oval roundness. And then like this is the inner light I was telling you about. We're gonna have to work with the lights. So like huge difference. I think we can even lessen the vignette on this one, which it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen too often. Because then the inner light is larger. So I'll just do like 75 on the highlights, just to lessen the intensity of this water. And then we can go to AI enhance, do accent, because again this kind of brightens everything up anyways. Brightens the whole image up. And then go vignette again. Let's do 40 and then do like 15. Yeah, 25 is fine. Okay, so then we're gonna go here. I want to see what sun rays would look like if I made it like this. Put the sun like right here, right there. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. So I placed it above the image because obviously you can't see the sun right here. So I want it to look like the sun rays are peering in from outside of the image. So I don't need them to be overly large. Let's put them at like 15. And then let's do this at like 35. And then sunray penetrate, sunray length. I kind of like it at like 50, like 55. And then penetration. Let's do penetration at 35. Let's try that. Try 55 on that one. Number of sun rays, and like all of this is personal preference, honestly. I like there to be more sun rays than not, because I think they're pretty. That's why I tell my roommate's cat, her name's Kitty, and I'm just like, Kitty, you are so pretty. She looks at me like I'm really dumb, and it's fine. So then sunray radius, or sun radius. So we do want it to be a little bit more concentrated at the top, because that's where the sun is. And then we want to deal with the glow. I like less glow, actually. Sun glow amount. We'll just put that at like 75. Sun warmth. Put that at like 35, and then sun ray warmth. But do you want it to be on the warmer side? I don't want it to be totally orange, but I don't want it to be white either. So we're going to do like I like it to be a mix, so we'll do like 55, maybe 60 even. We'll do 15 for the sun warmth, and then we'll go to 50 for the, that looks so like angelic. Can I just say? I mean, look at this. That looks incredible. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. What the hell? Just be like, I don't think I want them that long. Okay, so this is looking really angelic. I'm loving how this looks. It is so pretty. Just saying. Okay, let's play with mystical, because again, we want it to be mystical. It's already looking really angelic. So let's just kind of roll with that. And actually, before we do that, I do want to up the vignette, because I just think it's, since the sun is coming in, that means anything closer to us is going to be a bit darker. So I want to make sure that that is as, oh, like, that just looks so good. Like, come on. That is beautiful. I love this waterfall so much. So we have mystical, we have glow, we have fog. So let's see what we are gonna end up going with. I don't really use these settings too much, so we're going to be just like learning together and just figuring out what looks good and what doesn't. Okay. I always like to open the advanced settings just so I know what I have to work with. So let's just push all of this up just to see what it does. Okay. Ooh, I really like that. So we have like 10. And then the shadows were a bit much, so just get rid of those shadows. Oh, that's really pretty. That just puts this nice little glow onto it. Oh my god! What happens if we up the saturation? Does it do anything? I think it's just the saturation of the glow. So we'll up the saturation to 25. It's already very warm, so let's actually take some warmth out of it. A little bit. Maybe that was a little bit too much. Let us see. This is like smoothness. I don't... Okay, let's just up the smoothness to 25. And let's look at the before and after. That's like so pretty. That's like such a mood. Can I just say? Well, we're gonna turn that off really quick because I do want to look at the other ones, but this way at least saves our settings. So the other one I want to look at is glow. So here I see type, and then there's soft focus bright, soft focus glow, and soft focus and soft glow. So we'll just kind of play with all of them. If we do all the way up, wow, that's a lot. Okay, already not really loving this. So what does soft focus do? Okay, I don't really like that. I'm not really into that. And then let's look at soft glow. Okay, so this kind of just makes everything kind of like pop a little bit, I guess. So that's something we can look at. Okay, so before we were doing mystical and I had taken away some of the warmth. But what if we put that warmth back? And let's look at this again. Make sure this is kind of looking how we want it to look. It is. And then what if we go to glow? Because glow tends to focus, from what I can tell, more on like the water aspects and stuff. Because like if we do this, it like makes the accents kind of glow. So what if we up that to like 10? Kind of play with its brightness. Let's dim down the brightness. Get rid of some of that smoothness. Maybe do like 5, and then like have it be more on the blue side for those accent pieces. So yeah, we'll do smoothness of 10. We'll do 15. And then, yeah, I want to get rid of some of that brightness. Doesn't really make a huge change, makes a very light change. And so because of all these other, I mean, I guess this blackness, this shadow makes sense because of how I have my rays. But I kind of want to get rid of some of that shadow. Whoa, too much. Too much. So what we're going to do is do it like by 15, let's say. Yeah, that's better. You can see more here. You can just see more overall. And then let's see what happens. Actually, I didn't like that at all. There we go. Yeah. This is good. I like this. Now I'm just going to like throw this over onto my computer screen just to make sure the lighting is exactly how I want, since my monitor isn't 100%. And I've worked on it a ton to try to get it exactly where I want it. And it doesn't always work out. So it is a little, is it dark? Yeah. It's like way brighter over here than over here. But I'm wondering if it would be like that on my phone too. I know I have my monitor like super bright, so let's actually change that up a little bit. Okay, so it does need to be brightened up a little bit. So, okay, so what we're going to do is the best, I think I'm just going to use the accent, because the accent will actually brighten it up for us. I think that's a little too much. I do like it to be a little bit more mystical, I guess. But that definitely brightens everything up. Okay, and put it over here again just to see what that's looking like. That looks great. That looks beautiful. Okay, so this is how we're going to keep this. I'm really happy with this. So this is what we're going to stick with. Look at the vignette one more time. 50 size, roundness, inner light. I think the inner light is fine, because if we turn it off, yeah, it just like looks so much better. I used to like really up the inner light, and then when I would look on it on my phone, I'd be like, what was I doing? So yeah, now we're going to export this. Export. Now I like to go ahead and do my watermark first, and then put it into Topaz Denoise, because then it will also kind of sharpen my watermark too, which I personally like. But again, it's just like personal preference. Like, look at the difference. That's wild. That looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm in love with Luminar. I don't know why I haven't been using it this whole time. I'm silly. I might as well just go into the pond because I am such a silly goose. It's fine. Mom jokes is cool. And I'm not even a mom. I'm a fur baby mom, I guess. Not the same thing. Don't come at me, moms. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to open the latest version of Photoshop, which is this one. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness. I love that so much. So happy with how that came out. Just the angle of which I shot this, it was just perfect for the light rays. And again, that's something I just thought of. It was not like I was out at this site thinking, oh, let me figure out how to fit some light rays in here. So definitely was not doing that. God, that is so, so pretty. My God. It looks a little different on here than it does on my computer screen. So I had to figure that out. I just haven't taken the time to actually like watch videos of how to like correctly set up my settings on my monitor. So one day it'll eventually bug me and then I'll do it. But for right now, I don't particularly care. Just being honest. Because I just move it over to just move it over to my laptop, which I know is at the right setting. Okay. That's 600. So I had to figure out where I want this. I think I am just going to have it in the center. I feel like that is a bit large, so we're going to do 500 I mean, which is normally not as small as I go, but because I'm putting it on the center of this log, one, I want to make sure the opacity is really low, because I don't want the first thing people to look at and see that it's my logo. Obviously, I want them to see my logo, but it's not the main part of this piece. It's just, I post all my photos on my Instagram photography page, Raw Footage Photography, which will be linked in the description below. And unfortunately, there's a lot of other pages who steal people's work. They follow hashtag steal people's work. I mean, obviously, they could save those photos, put them in the Photoshop, and take out watermarks. I even know how to do that. You can change full documents in Photoshop. I mean, it's literally limitless if you're willing to put in the time. But overall, I like I put a lot of time and energy into this into my photos and into my craft. So I like for my photo logo to be on it. And so that's about center. Let's actually see how it is at 600, which is what I normally do it at. It's about center. Now you could set up Lightroom. Like there's a way to put in your watermark in Lightroom, and it'll like you can just tell it where you want to place like bottom center, and it'll just automatically center it. But I kind of like doing it on my like freehand. Just kind of what I like to do. All right, I like that. You can clearly see it, but it's not like the main focus of the work. I like it. So that's it. That's literally all we're doing in Photoshop. So we're gonna export this, export as, and then we're gonna export it to the same one where the last one is in my Instagram photo folder, and then we're gonna say watermarked, Luminar final edit. I was doing something else in Photoshop. And photo, yes, save. Okay. We are almost done, guys. Okay, so now we're going to close Photoshop. So this is the final step. Open this up. I like to put it at 35. Because I like to see more of the image. 37 is fine. 37 is fine. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of like, where do I wanna? Yeah, sure, we'll do like, we'll do this. I'll put it there. So I'll put this at like 60, at 50, let's say. There's not a ton of noise to remove, so that's fine. Recover original detail, and now it's just waiting. So I like to see a larger image whenever I'm doing this step, but you can always, obviously the smaller the preview box is, the quicker it will render. And so whenever you're doing these post-production, like post-editing settings, it'll only do it on the preview, only put those settings onto the preview. But I don't like looking at it like super close in like it usually has you start out doing. But at the same time, it takes a lot longer. Like if this was even at 50%, it wouldn't be that crazy long. It wouldn't be that crazy long for it to like re-render. So here, I mean, this image is already pretty sharp, so I feel like I don't need it even that much. So let's just do like 25 and just see what that does. And we can also go to AI Clear just to see what that does to it as well. Because honestly, like if I'm being totally transparent, which I'm all about on this channel, I don't really know the difference between denoise and AI Clear. I know low light allows you to have absolutely no sharpness, whereas the lowest enhanced sharpness you can get is 1. So if you were just wanting to remove noise with no sharpening, then you would use low light. But the difference between like denoise AI and AI Clear, like I can see the difference in the photo itself, but I wouldn't know how to like actually like verbalize it, if that makes sense. So overall, it doesn't really change this too much. The sun rays still look beautiful. Let's go to AI Clear. just to see. Remove noise, low, enhance sharpness is low. I just want to kind of see what this does. It also takes less time to render too. But, oh, and also let's do 15. Okay, so that just kind of like clears up any... I might actually like this better. Let's go over here. See what it does over here. I think I'm gonna like AI clear better. But like, sometimes AI clear is like horrible depending on the photo I'm using, and other times, and then like denoise works better, is like so much better. But other times like AI clear is like significantly better than... Yeah, see, like this looks so much better. And if I go up here to like these little light rays and stuff, let's up it to 25 on the recover original detail, just to see what that looks like. Yeah, so I don't know, because sometimes, one time I was trying to use AI clear on a photo and it was putting this weird tint on my photo that I definitely was like not a fan of. But this is looking really good. Okay, so I did not end out this edit with me. Apparently I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. And so all I was saying was how I export the final image into Lightroom Classic because I like having all my photos in one spot for me to like access later. And also the photo you're going to see at the end is slightly different with the warmth and brilliance. I can't remember if I said this in the video previously, but I tend to look at my photos a lot over a period of days after I've edited them. Basically until I post them, I'm staring at them. And so I felt like it looked better with the warmth slightly warmer and the brilliance up a little bit with a little bit more contrast. But it's like very, very slight, and whenever I do that, I always just use my iPhone's editing system and like the iPhotos app. It's nothing crazy, or even when I go to post it on Instagram, I'll just use Instagram's editing tools. Now I try not to do that. I try to edit it actually on the original photo itself, because I do eventually plan on selling prints, and so I want to make sure that what I post online is also what people are going to get whenever I am selling prints, which won't be for a little bit now, but it's a good habit to be in. And so thank you so much for staying with me through this. I know these are a little longer, but that's why my adventure vlogs I do try to make shorter. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to edit this photo with you all, and if you haven't already, you should go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a video that I post every single week. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye!